Hey, and welcome to Trains Are Fun. In this video, we're going to be answering a question that a couple of people have asked. I've been asked this question before in the past, and I haven't really answered it other than replying to the comment. But Travis Lord has asked me a couple of times about how do I make the trains move independently of each other? Do I use DCC or something else? And Speedgoy asked the same question again today. So I'm going to show you how I can do it, how I can make these locomotives move independently of each other. Come back here, Gordon. Where are you going? Uh-oh, he just got on the other track. There goes Gordon, out of control. Alright, we got Gordon. See, I can move him. I can move Spencer. Let's turn the other way. Go backwards. I can move them in opposite directions. I can change their directions. You gotta remember which one's which. Come back. We'll stop him there. Then we'll change the direction of Spencer and bring him back. Alright, how do I do that? Well, this is actually a very old-fashioned way of doing it. It probably goes back to as long as people have had trains. It's outdated by many people's standards, but basically it's block control where the track is what provides the power to the trains, obviously, but each section of track has its own wiring. So, I've actually still got my sections numbered. I got a 3, that's track 3, that's track 2, track 6, track 5. And that goes to these old Atlas selectors. And you have a wire. This wire here goes to this speed controller, and then this other speed controller goes to the top. So this is A and this is B. So simply track 3 that Gordon is on, if I want that to be controlled, I switch it. So right now it's controlled by B. So when I do B, Gordon will move, so I can go forward and back. And Spencer, he's on track 2. Track 2 is up to A. So when I use speed controller A, oops, I forgot to turn him off. He was creeping there. We can make Gordon go. Go backwards. I'm cheating just going forward and backwards without changing the throttle. I'll just go like that. Alright, so that's how that works. And if you're really good and you got 2 people operating, you can run 2 trains in opposite directions. On this end of the track, there was a hammer, we have the passing siding. So this is where the trains can pass each other. And then the main line is controlled by 1 and 4. So this right here is 4. It goes all the way around to where the passing siding is. And this is 1. So basically, if I want Gordon to come on out, we'll stop him there. We got to turn the switch machine, and I always forget. The inner ones are like 2 and 3. And here's my switch machines. So I think that one is 3. So I push the button. Nope, that was not it. That was 2. Let's do 2. Alright, so I got them switched. So I need track 1 to be to B, and it is. So Gordon can come on out onto the main line. And what I'll do sometimes is I'll run them slow, and I'll switch track 4 to A, make sure Spencer is the right way, and there I go. And if I run them slow enough, I can flip the switches, but I better stop because I don't know what that track is set to. So, stop, Gordon. Over there, that switch machine, he's going to be going out to 5, so I need to make sure 5 is on B, and it is. So he could have kept on going. And then I need to flip this switch here, which is, oh, I just caused him to derail. That's what happens when you flip a switch when he's moving. Alright. So I need to switch this switch, which is 1. Nope, it's not, it's 4. I got my schematic upside down here. All right, let's move Gordon. All right, once Gordon gets in the passing siding, I need to reverse 1 and 4 here. I'm going to reverse him once he gets into the passing siding. All right, now I can reverse 1 and 4. Flip the switch. It's not flipping. Make sure the other one's the right way. Something wrong with Gordon. He makes all kinds of noises. And so I just need to make sure 2. I can't see now that Knapford Station's there. Oh no, we're going to have a head-on collision. Oh, I shorted him out. And so he's going to be heading into 3. 3 is B, so I really need to switch that switch, which is 2. And then I need to make sure 3, okay, that's right. Yeah, I got him in the wrong block. 2, there we go. Well, anyway, you get the idea. Let's get Gordon moving. Oh, I see. I got him going the same way. It's hard to hold a camera and do it, but that's basically what it's doing. So each section of track is divided. These in the station, when I did my Knapford station, I can control this track or this one. Oh, and how that is electrically isolated, there is a clear rail joiner, so no electricity passes through there. So the wire to this track is actually right there. Now this is the old way of doing it. Some people actually solder right to the rail joiner so that you don't see the wire. I can always cover this up later with some scenery where you don't see it. I mean, I already got these switch machines. The other thing people do, they'll put the switch machines under the table and have a rod that does them. In real railroads, a lot of them switch them manually anyway. And then there's another isolating joiner there. So this is actually powered by the main line up into this point. And then from here, you got this one for this track, that one for that track. And then even with this little small siding, which I'm thinking about making part of a quarry. I'm thinking about making a mountain here, and this is just like the tail end of a quarry. That's how that works. And we'll go over to the roundhouse, Tidmouth Sheds. And it's a nice thing because basically the power from this rail goes to, actually I actually had to put a solder joint there. So the power comes in here, and then whichever way the turntable points, it gives power to that rail. So you can only power one rail at a time. So basically when I point it to whichever track, that's the one that's going to get the power. So that's pretty neat. So that's how I control my trains. It's these Atlas selectors, basically 50-year-old technology, I guess. Nothing fancy. It's the old-fashioned way of doing it. DCC would be a lot easier. Remote controls, like with Lionel, is easier. But this is cheaper. This is a cheap way of doing it. I don't have to make any modifications to the locomotive. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's a little different from what I've been doing with this channel. If you have questions, ask me. And if you're like Travis Lord, and he really wanted to know, so I'm going to show when I can. And I hope you learned something from this. And this is not something I came up with myself. I actually got it out of one of the Atlas books for beginners. So this is, like I said, this is really an easy way of powering your trains independently of one another. You can actually have, it depending on how big your layout is, you can have more than 2. And there's a way of doing the selectors where you have different shelves or rows of them, and you can control more than 2 trains. But 2's about all you can really do on a small layout like this. Perhaps I could isolate this and have this part controlled by a separate transformer, but it's not really necessary. So Tell me what you think. Thanks for watching this video. We'll be doing more on this little tiny layout. Yes, there will be scenery on here eventually. We're just working on it. And thanks for watching Trains Are Fun. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Say bye, Spencer.